Hello everyone and Happy New Year! Welcome to the January 2024 edition of our Greater Vancouver Market Update. Still the place to come to get your unspun, unbiased analysis of the housing market here in the Lower Mainland. If you find this content valuable, please hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment down below, and if you're watching this content on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any future episodes. Well, the year that was 2023 was nothing short of a roller coaster ride. The first 6 months saw the market sharply rebounding from a lackluster 2022, while the back half saw interest rates once again rising, stifling all activity. Let's break it all down by taking a closer look at the numbers. Let's start off by taking a look at the December sales figures, which came in at just 1,345 transactions. Now, December is typically a slow month when it comes to real estate, so this 21% drop from November isn't that significant in itself. However, when we compare this volume to what is expected at this time of year, we see that these 1,345 transactions are 36.4% below the 10-year average for the month, which is pretty significant in my opinion. Next, let's take a look at how total inventory is looking, which finished the year at 7,879 total listings, representing a 28% decrease from the month of November. Again, not uncommon at all, as many sellers elect not to keep their properties on the market over the holidays, while other listings simply expire at the end of the calendar year. So with the drop in listings outpacing the drop in sales, our months of inventory crept back down under the 6 MOI mark, finishing off the year at 5.9 months of inventory. A rather symbolic finish, as I've heard numerous analysts proclaim that we finished off the year in balanced market territory. I mean, sure, balanced perhaps on a technicality, because the home price index continued to inch down, finishing the year off at 1.17 million, which represents a 1.4% drop from the previous month and capping off 5 consecutive months of declining prices, albeit marginally each month. According to the index, prices are back to where they were in April of this past year. So there you have it, the full snapshot of the year that was 2023. But as I always say, those are just the numbers. Next, let's cover what's really going down, boots on the ground.
These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do.
Let's start off by talking a little bit about the year that was. 2023 started off much like 2022 ended, fairly slowly. There was barely 1,000 sales that took place in January, and we were sitting on 7.3 months of inventory. But during the January 25th rate announcement, despite raising rates for an 8th consecutive time, Bank of Canada Governor Tiff Macklem proclaimed that he would now hold rates in order to let the quantitative tightening and rate hikes work their way through the system. Buyers who were eagerly waiting for rate stability flooded the market, but there was just one problem. You see, prices tumbled 12% in just 9 months prior to that. So, although there were plenty of buyers all of a sudden, sellers simply did not want to accept the new reality, knowing full well what their neighbor sold for just a year ago, and they simply did not want to list in that environment. So once again, there was a huge shortage of inventory, with our months of inventory dropping from 7.3 to 4.3 in just 1 month. And what happens when there's not enough listings? People start to compete for the few that are available, which means, you guessed it, multiple offers and bidding wars. And what happens when every listing goes into multiples? Yep, you guessed it again. Prices begin to sharply rise, and that's exactly what happened this past spring. Prices aggressively rebounded, recovering nearly all the losses that occurred the previous year. And while many of my colleagues were touting how great things were again, a once again overheated housing market was precisely what Tiff and company at the Bank of Canada did not want to see. They want stability. But when you pump 1.2 million people into the country with nowhere to house them, stability is a pretty hard thing to achieve. So on June 7th, the Bank of Canada once again pumped the brakes, by raising interest rates yet again by a quarter point, and not just a month after that, in July, another quarter point, and that was all she wrote for the bull market of 2023. You see, prior to the June 7th announcement, you could secure a 5-year fixed-term mortgage at under 5%. I saw some as low as 4.5, 4.6. But after the 2 hikes in the summer, fixed rates skyrocketed to nearly 6.5%. And remember, it's not just the rate. Buyers still need to qualify based on the stress test, which adds an additional 2% to the rate you're being offered. So this past fall, in order to qualify for a mortgage, you had to debt service at 8.25 to 8.5%. Ouch, major ouch. But over the last month and a half or so, the bond market has dropped significantly, and it's the bond market that has a direct effect on fixed-term interest rates. As a result, those 6.5 rates are once again back down to the low 5s. And just like that, voila, we once again have started to see a lot of activity to start the year. Over the last week or so, I've spoken to numerous mortgage brokers to get a sense of what they're seeing in the market, and all of them have expressed that they're busier than usual with applications, especially considering the time of year that it is. For us, we've had 4 parties requesting listing consultations in the last 7 days, which again is a very high number for this time of year. And as I mentioned in our last video, we were able to clear out our remaining listings that we had from last year in December, but many agents that I've been speaking with who had listings lingering from last year have told me that after sitting on the market for upwards of 60, 90 days, all of a sudden they've received multiple offers on their listings. Look, it's hard to say where all this will go and how this will all shake down, but as of right now, all signs are pointing to a very busy and early spring. All right, that's it for me for this month. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff, and I'll try to catch you right back here in about a month's time. Take care, everyone.